to the channel. This is MaskedGamlng, and today we have a Magicka dragonknight build as of the patch of MARKARTH, which is update 28 if I believe. And this build is insane. I'm just going to say it now. I don't really play MagDK much, as I mentioned in my previous MagDK video. The link will be in the description for that one. But this is for the MARKARTH patch, and honestly, this has renewed my love for Magicka dragonknight. Now, as you can see here, the stats don't actually seem too impressive. We're running 35k max mag, 20k max health, 11k max stam, 1k mag recovery, 894 health recovery, 514 stamina recovery, 2323 spell damage, only 25% spell critical, and 23% spell resistance, 19k physical, and 2.7 critical resist. As seen here, we are running 64 points into Magicka. We're running the Mage Mundus. We're running Clockwork Citrus Fillet as the food. And we are a Nord just to boost our resistances up that little bit more. You can run a Breton or a High Elf. I personally like Nord for PvP as it just works very well and the flow of gameplay works a lot better when you can actually stay alive. So if I just go straight into the armour. We're running the Overwhelming Inferno Staff in Charged with a Disease damage glyph. Now we're running Charged and Disease because what Disease does as a status effect is it causes the target to take 15% less healing and it reduces their health recovery by 15% as well. The Charged gives us an extra 220% to apply that status effect, so it all works in very nicely. Plus you will also see soon why I also went for Charged on this with Overwhelming. The set adds 1096 maximum magicka for 2-piece, for 3 and 4 add 129 spell damage each, and on the 5th, when you deal damage with a class ability, you surround yourself with a torrent that deals 1515 shock damage to enemies within 8 meters of you every second for 6 seconds. 15% of the damage you deal this way is restored to you as magicka. This can occur every 7 seconds, so it pretty much has about a 90% uptime, 6 seconds up, 7 seconds cooldown. It's quite a nice effect, plus it does shock damage. Now if you apply a status effect of shock, and as you can see we're running charged, so we've got an extra 220% chance to apply the status effect, you will do an extra 8% damage to that target, because what shock status does is it applies minor vulnerability to the target, making them take 8% more damage from all attacks. So that's why I'm liking Charged. It's worth skipping out the 200 extra spell damage you get for Nirnhoned. Charged is honestly one of the better things to run for a mag class. On our back bar, obviously, we're going to run a Resto Staff of the Potentates. Potentates is really good, extra 3% damage taken from players reduction, and put it empowered with a weapon damage enchant. You'll be healing really well, and if you switch back to your front bar, you'll have an extra 350 weapon and spell damage. Now obviously, I don't know if you guys predicted it, but I sure did. We're using Grothdar, we're running it in light armor, we've got a max mag and a divine enchant on it. What Grothdar does is it adds 1 piece max magicka, and on the 2-piece, when you deal damage to an enemy within 8 meters, you have a 10% chance to create lava pools that swirl around you, dealing 2124 flame damage to all enemies within 8 meters of you every second for 5 seconds. This effect can occur every 10 seconds. So this ability hits quite hard. It's just an extra bit of burst damage that you get, continuous damage from casting an ability. You're very close range with this build. For a mag build, it's actually one of the more closer range ones, and it all in all just ties in with our high damage output. You can run Balorgs if you want to make it a more ultimate focused, or you can run Bloodspawn for extra resistances. Now next up, we're running a brand new set. We're running 5 heavy pieces of this set, and I'm going to show you what this is. This is brand new to the MARKARTH DLC, and let me tell you, it hits hard. Now without even realising, they've made a set that makes it so that the stronger your enemy is, the harder it is for them to actually kill you. So we're running max mag and reinforced on this piece, and what it does is on the 2-piece adds 1200 maximum health. On the 3-piece adds 129 weapon damage. On the 4-piece adds 1206 maximum health, and on the 5-piece deal 10% of all direct damage done to you back to the attacker, up to 4.2k at a time. Now, I haven't done extensive testing of this, but I've noticed it in battle. I'm not too sure if the 4,250 is halved due to the PvP rules, or if this damage isn't actually scaled down at all. If it isn't, that means you'll get an extra 4.2k on them, but if you're getting hit by really high hitting in-cap strikes or hidden blades or anything, you'll be dealing 10% of the damage back to the person that hit you, meaning you'll be doing a little bit more damage to them while they're trying to kill you. Now, of course, we're running the second piece of Grofdar Light, Light, Magicka and Divines, and we're running Heavy Belt of the Radiant Bastion, Max Mag, Divines, Gloves, Max Mag, Divines, Legs, Max Mag, Reinforced, and Boots, Max Mag, Divines. Now on our jewellery, we are running 2 pieces of Infused and 1 Arcane, all spell damage and chance overwhelming jewellery. This just makes it so that we've got our overwhelming 5-piece up and we can maintain our 5-piece of the Radiant Bastion. Now, if we go into the skills, now I'm not sure you'll all not be surprised with what I'm running. I'm running the Molten Whip. Molten Whip lashes an enemy with flame, dealing 8.8k flame damage. If you strike an enemy that is stunned or off balance, you set them off balance. While slotted, whenever you activate a different Ardent Flame ability, you gain a stack of Seething Fury, which increases the damage of your next Molten Whip by 33% and increases your weapon and spell damage for 5 seconds. Next up, we've got Flames of Oblivion. This is just an extra bit of burst damage, plus it gives you an extra bit of Major Savagery and Major Prophecy just for having it slotted. We've got Burning Embers. Now this is actually our main spammable. We use this to boost the damage of our Molten Whip. It hits quite hard and it's a very, very strong heal, plus it applies the burning status effect to the target. Now Fossilize is your main stun. You want to cast this every time it comes available. You can actually cast this every 7 seconds. It's one of the hidden stats in the game. Everybody, if they're not wearing medium armor or light, will be stunned every 7 seconds by this ability, because that is the general cooldown for stuns, or when the twirly mist from their feet goes away. Next up we have the Mage's Guild ability, Degeneration. What this does is damage over time, and it gives you Major Sorcery. So this is your main source of Major Sorcery. It does a lot of damage as well. It's a very nice ability. Next up we have Take Flight. This is our main ultimate. We use this as an extra bit of burst, and it stuns the enemy. Now on our back bar we are running Temporal Guard. This reduces the damage we take by 5%. We don't actually use this, we just have this as a slotted ability to make it so that we're a lot more tanky on the back bar. We're using Coagulating Blood as our second main heal. This heals for 9k and it increases by up to 33 additional % based on your missing health. You also gain Major Fortitude and health recovery by 40% every 20 seconds. You've got Hardened Armour. This is our main resistance booster, increasing our physical and spell resist by 6k for 20 seconds. This also gives you a damage shield that absorbs up to 3.2k for 6 seconds. Next up we're using Fragmented Shield. Now you use this as a healing booster. What this does is it gives you Major Mending, which increases your healing done by 16% for 6 seconds when you cast this ability. That is when you tie it in with your Rapid Regeneration, which is your main heal. Share your staff's life-giving energy, healing you or a nearby ally for 18,000 health over 5 seconds. This is a very hard-hitting heal, and it's so strong. Now for our second ability, we're actually running Siphon Spirit. Now this is basically the Ellie Drain of the Restoration Staff world. It applies minor Magicka steal and applies minor life steal, so you'll be getting even more healing just for doing damage to the enemy. Now let's move on to the champion points. My champion points aren't absolute, this is all up for interpretation, but this is personally what I run. 30 points into Warlord and 1 into Siphoner. 100 into Arcanist, 75 into Tenacity, 64 into Shadow Ward. Next up in the Apprentice we have 10 in Blessed, 60 in Earthborn, 60 in Elemental Expert, and 50 into Spell Erosion, and 90 into Master at Arms. You can take points out of Master at Arms and put some into Thaumaturge if you do wish. I personally don't see the benefit of it as much as having raw damage, but again, it's up to interpretation. Next up we have 60 points into Ironclad, and 60 points into resistant, 60 points into hardy, 45 into elemental defender, and 45 into thick-skinned. And that is it. I'm going to post some dueling footage at the end of the video. Feel free to check it out. It includes the rotation in it. There's no voice overlay, but you can see what I'm doing, how I fight. There was a bit of lag because it is PTS. And yeah, if you guys want to see any more content in the future, please drop a comment down below, hit a sub, hit that like button, and just vote for what you want to see in the next video. Otherwise, I'll be posting my usual content. We've almost hit 200 subscribers as of me posting this video, which I'm so thankful for. So I will see you guys in the next video, and let's see if we can't hit that 200 subs by next week. I'll see you all on the next one. See ya.